Or tap your foot.
Huh. I think I'm the only one watching it.
It's okay. Hi there, it's Elyse from Real World Scholars. We're gonna get started in just a few minutes, but we wanna give everyone some time to settle in. So as you guys are joining the webinar, if you wanted to just take a moment to introduce yourself via the chat, that would be fantastic, just so that we know who's here and so you guys can potentially connect with each other after the fact. And just so you all know, Molly is here. Many of you work closely with Molly. She does a lot of our teacher support here, and she's going to be helping out in the chat capacity. Any questions that you have, you can obviously G-chat or group chat, excuse me, to her, and she'll be happy to answer them. So we'll give it a few more minutes while people So some of you may have noticed we had a few bugs last week. Half the internet went down on Friday. Thank you so much for your patience as we worked through that. Obviously, we couldn't do anything about that, but I know that made it difficult to access your PayPal accounts and the dashboard. And so everything seems to be up and running, but we do appreciate the grace and latitude while we got all that stuff figured out. And also just in general, I know that we are constantly finding bugs and glitches. And as you all know, we're pretty early into this development process. And so anything that you find, anything that's not working, feel free to shoot us an email, contact@realworldscholars.org. We're either happy to help you fix it, or we forward it on to our dev team, who's fantastic at helping us get some clarity and resolution around issues. So yeah, keep those feedback comments coming. The other thing that we've been hearing a lot about is business cards. I think you all got an email last week about business cards, about how we would print those business cards for you. We're happy to do that, but we've had a few questions around how. So the easiest way to get your business cards printed is by going to Canva. Canva is a platform we love using. We use it a lot internally here. I know designers that use Canva because half the time it's just easier to use pre-made templates if it's something that you need to get out kind of quickly. And so it's really student friendly, and I encourage you guys to create a Canva account for the class, maybe with a class email. And they have tons of business card templates. And so rather than creating it in Microsoft Word and then having to convert it later, I would just start with Canva. They have great templates. You can kind of upload your own pictures, choose your fonts, your colors, etc. And then once you're done, you feel like it's ready to get printed, go ahead and download it and email it to us. The best place to email it would be contact@realworldscholars.org. And then we'll go ahead and get those printed for you. One thing that I like to encourage is creating a generic card that everyone in the class can use. We know it's really exciting when a student can hand over a business card that feels like it's theirs. Obviously, it would be really difficult to get business cards printed for each student in the class. And so one thing that I think can help mitigate these issues is designing a business card that maybe on one side has all of the contact information, the social media, the URL for the website, as well as maybe like a generic email that they can reach contact@youredcorp.com or whatever that looks like. And then on the back, either making it blank or putting a line that the students can use to put in their own information. We've seen some really creative examples of this. Sometimes teachers or students will print stickers that they put on the business card. For younger kids, we've seen them just write in their name. We've seen custom stamps, the stamps that are customizable. Each stamp looks different. So there's a lot of ways that students can customize their own business cards once you get them. But I think it's helpful just to get started with those 500 of something generic. Then you can kind of customize for your students as you go along. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. We can answer them. We can kind of throw up some exciting things that have been happening. It looks like we're going to have a full 250 for next semester, which is really exciting. And a lot of people are in various stages. So don't feel like you're behind. Don't feel like you're not moving at a pace that makes sense. Every EdCorp looks different. And however it looks in your classroom, if your kids are engaging authentically, we're really excited about that. One other question that's come up a lot recently has been around PayPal. If you are looking to take credit cards of any kind, right? So maybe you're doing selling events in the community or having a back to school night, you can use your PayPal reader for that, right? So you've been getting a lot of emails about this. If you go into your support tab in your dashboard and select PayPal reader and let us know you want one, we'll get one in the mail for you, as well as all of the relevant information about using that. I think you can get really creative about how you use your PayPal readers as well. So everything from physical selling events to custom orders. We've had some classes where maybe it's a design shop and not everything that you can make goes on your website. That could be overkill, right? Especially if you had a lot of custom orders. And so if a customer wants a piece of furniture and the kids have to go offline to crunch some numbers rather than uploading a whole new product just for that customer, they can take that sale offline, get that customer's credit card information and put it through their PayPal reader so that they can have, it's more streamlined for everybody. So if you do want a PayPal reader, just go ahead and go into your dashboard, let us know with that support tab, and we'll get you one as soon as we possibly can. I think it's really exciting when kids get to swipe that credit card for everybody. If there's any other questions, feel free to just chat them to us. Molly is happy to help. The students want to blog. Anyone to try to send to the store? We are actually working on that functionality right now. What we're hoping to do is create a section of the website where you can pretty much upload whatever you want and you can link it to whatever you want. So if it's a digital portfolio that you guys have someplace else, you can upload an image that says view our digital portfolio and it'll go someplace else. That's not done quite yet. So I think the best way to do that would be to put that in the about section. I think there's a lot of cool ways to customize, and we'll do some follow-up after this video to kind of put more resources to the best ways we've seen this work out. But that about section can have links to other websites. It can be formatted in a really visually appealing way so it doesn't just feel like a ton of bulky copy. But I think we can put that blog there for now, and then later we're hoping in the next few months you'll be able to customize that section. Any other questions, Molly?
Not yet.
Tomorrow will be Jody Woodruff, which is, I hope everyone takes the chance to chime in with her. Jody is fantastic. She's an Allen Distinguished Educator, but before that, she's just an amazing educator, an amazing entrepreneur. She runs the Entrepreneurial Center at the Met in Providence, which is the Big Picture Learning's flagship school. And the things that she does to get her students engaged and really understanding themselves as entrepreneurs, and not just in the business sense, but in the mindset sense, is really incredible. And she'll be online tomorrow sharing tips and tools with you guys. So she'll be on at 3 p.m. tomorrow. And I would really, I'll be there. She's fantastic, and she's always blowing us away with interesting ways that she gets kids to think about strategy and trade and money and ideas. She uses top-notch ideation tools. So that's definitely something you're going to want to chime in for. I can't even see the group chat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. I've had a lot of questions recently about how to get started. There feels like a little bit of an analysis paralysis, like how do we get started with the building of the business? I know that a lot of people got online about 6 weeks ago, but some people are still, finishing up units here and there, and they're not totally sure. I think the best combination, depending on your learning objectives, are ones that combine strategy, having the students really think through what opportunities are on the table. Do we have a parent who owns a print shop? Do we have a community garden that we have access to? Is there machinery on campus that's not getting used? There's a lot of creative thinking that can go into what the best usage of their time and their company is. So I think spending some time to think that through, and we actually have a teacher canvas if anyone's interested in that we think can be really helpful in thinking through what you want your EdCorp to be about. But then also just getting going, right? And so once you have an idea, rather than trying to figure out all of the minutia and how it's going to work, really just coming up with a loose game plan. What are we going to make? Who are we going to sell it to? How are we going to sell it? And going. I think sometimes just getting the website up and some social media can be really helpful. We've seen parents and community members get really engaged once they have something to chime into, right? They have something to follow. And so rather than waiting until you feel like you can tie it up and put a bow on it, I would really encourage you to get that website up, get that social media up, and start sharing the journey throughout, sharing the journey early on. Actually, Mark Suter does a great job of this with the new company, Grit9. They're still figuring some things out, but he's been documenting that journey so that people can get invested early and follow along. I would really encourage everyone to do that. And so some of the best ways to do that is once you pick a product, break into teams, figure out, okay, what do we need to do to sell this product? Well, we have to make it. We have to figure out how to market it, right? Coming up with a loose idea of a few teams and having students really self-select into those teams so that they're doing something that they're interested in can be a really great way just to get started. And then small groups can start focusing in on things. They can start specializing and coming up with loose game plans. Great, marketing. We're gonna need social media. We're probably gonna need to follow people. We're probably gonna need to tell people that we're up and running, right? But these steps are a lot more manageable when they're broken up into smaller kind of sections, smaller divisions per se. So we're happy to chat with anybody about how to get started. What are some initial steps? We understand those can be the really kind of tricky, clunky parts. How do we integrate this into our initial curriculum? But I would say choosing a product that makes the most sense for your class, whether it's one that relates to curriculum or an existing opportunity or maybe something you already make, and then just starting to conceptualize what are the first ways we can sell it. And one of the reasons I say get out there, just start selling, is because students get really excited. And the minute that they start taking in cash, we don't think that money is the most important part, but sometimes they do. They get really excited, and it really propels them to think through more of these things, to start investing in their work more, to push themselves to come up with better packaging and thank you notes and customer development strategies. One of my favorite student quotes was from a junior in an engineering class, and he said, we asked him how running an EdCorp had changed his classroom, and he said, before I didn't really care about school, but now that someone's paying me a lot of money for this, I guess they actually have to try hard. Sometimes the sale can kind of legitimize things for the students, and so if we can start selling as soon as, as early in the semester as possible, sometimes that can really start to energize the base. But again, please reach out if you need any help with that. It's one of our favorite conversations to have, is what does this look like in your classroom and how do we get you going? Yep. So another question that just came up was about kind of what does it mean to go live, right? So we have our product, we know what we want to call it, but like, what do we do now? Well, the best thing to do is to let us know. We can't help promote and we can't help tie the things together if we don't know that you're ready. So you've probably seen it at the bottom of all of the emails that you've received. I know it's been a lot of emails, but there's a link that you can fill out and let us know about your business info. So it's oftentimes, it's going to include your product, it's going to include your company name, it's going to include the URL that you've chosen. Hopefully you've gone to GoDaddy already and checked out to see if it's available, if it's a reasonable price. And so once you fill that out, we'll be able to then go purchase that URL and link it. Don't do this on your own. Let us do it so that we can manage your site for you. That's part of what we do here is we host the banking, we manage the site, and it actually, our e-commerce platform works a lot better when it's synced up in the back end of the Shopify site. So fill that form out, let us know, and the minute you let us know, we can link the URL, you can go live, and we can start promoting what your students are doing. Do we feel like that adequately answers? Ooh, okay. So Mark Suter, so you may have seen his webinar last month, which was fantastic. Mark Suter is the founder of Grit9, which is a EdCorp out of Ohio. And those students specialize in web design and video marketing. I think you'd have to ask him better because they're just getting started. But they have offered to put together a visual guide, which is really exciting. And so if anyone is interested in resources, we're happy to connect you with Mark. And if you have any specific questions, please just let us know. He's a fantastic resource, and he's one of many teachers on our platform who have a lot of really fantastic entrepreneurial resources and who are happy to share those resources. So if you have questions, if you're looking for a specific curriculum, if there's an issue or challenge, a specific challenge you have, please let us know. We may not know the answers, but there's a lot of teachers on the platform who do. And Mark is just one of them, and he's so graciously and generously offered his time and his students' energy in helping build out other EdCorps. So take him up on that offer, take us up on that offer, let us know how we can help. Any other questions? One thing that's come up recently is community events. If you live in a community with other EdCorp educators, we would love to help host an event. So obviously this means that we need some help. We need some boots on the ground. We're based here in San Diego and can't be all the places all the time. But we would be happy to help pull together the other educators in your community. If you don't know if there's other educators in your community, just ask. We have a lot of educators in communities all around the country: San Diego, Los Angeles, the Bay Area, Boston, St. Louis, DC, Pittsburgh. We're happy to really breed that community and bring you guys together. Nothing makes us happier than seeing EdCorp educators connecting each other, connecting with each other and sharing those things. And so please let us know if that's something that you would be interested in, and we'll try to make that happen. Yep. So we have some exciting things coming up in the pipeline, one of which is the EL conference this week. So we're going to Detroit. If there's any educators that you know in the Detroit area, we're really excited to build out an EdCorp community there. Let us know, connect us. We still have funding slots open. So this is a message for everyone. We still have funding slots open for the spring. We will be closing registration for the spring on December 1st. So if you know anyone at your school, in your community, who might be interested in starting a student-run business, let us know. Connect us sooner rather than later. We're getting a lot of inquiries. It's really exciting, but obviously we want to build out community where we already have it. And so if you're on the ground and there's other teachers at your school who might be interested, we would love to support them first. So please reach out if you have anyone in any of those areas that I just mentioned. We want to build out those communities, the Detroit area. We want to build out those communities. So please connect us. We're excited, and we really do think of you guys as partners in this, and partners in building out these ecosystems of educators. So if anything comes to mind, organizations we should connect with to help support you, other teachers, resources, please just let us know. But, we always talk about how we're here to support the amazing things that are going on in your classroom. So help us do that. We can't be all places all the time, but with your help, with your input, with your insights of what you need in your community, we can hopefully better support some of those things. And I'm gonna give a little shout out to Ashley Greenway of Sugar Kids Beauty. Most people heard about Sugar Kids Beauty because those kids are just so cute. But they keynoted the Georgia STEM conference yesterday. They were asked to, so the kids, first graders out of Rome, Georgia, keynoted the Georgia STEM conference and actually sold over $6,000 worth of products in 4 days between a festival and the Georgia STEM conference. So I think she has since gone home to go to sleep for the next week. They're very tired, but big congratulations to her and her students. They work so very hard. Ashley's a teacher who pushes the boundaries all the time, does things that people always say you can't do with 7-year-olds. She'll probably be hosting one of these webinars shortly, so maybe next month. So if you have a chance to connect with her, please do. If you want to connect with her, let us know. She's really fantastic, and those kids have been working really hard. So congratulations, Sugar Kids Beauty. Okay, well, if there's no other questions, thank you guys for chiming in. If you have any other follow-up questions, of course, you can send them to contact@realworldscholars.org. And we'll be here tomorrow with Jody Woodruff from the Met, and she'll be sharing all of her entrepreneurial tips, how to get kids engaged in the entrepreneurial mindset. So we're really excited about that. As always, thank you for what you do, and we are looking forward to connecting.